In this video, I want to tell you how to properly program your subconscious mind for success, for wealth, for achieving whatever goal you have set out, whether it's a fitness goal or maybe it's just more family time, more free time, whatever it is. So at first, let me just give you a little background on my story. At first, I thought this whole thing was a bit of BS, and I thought this whole law of attraction stuff was pretty, fake. And arguably there is a lot of fake stuff out there, and you do have to avoid that still, and I still recommend that. However, there's a lot of good stuff out there too. Specifically, I listen to mainly just Napoleon Hill. Why? Because this man spent over 20 years studying 500 of the wealthiest people on earth, thanks to his connection with Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest people, if not the richest person in the entire world. So exactly how do you program your subconscious mind? Well, first, there are few major categories, about 4 major categories of things that you have to make sure you do. You want to avoid the law of attraction people who tell you just sit there and you believe that money will come to you, and then you just do whatever you want. You sit there, you remain being lazy, you eat potato chips, you watch TV, and eventually you'll get rich. No, that's not what it is, and that's where it gets a bad rep. So what are the 4 things? Before I get specific into the exact steps, the 4 things you have to remember to do is 1, do it with intense enthusiasm and emotion. And I want to reference Ralph Waldo Emerson's quote. Ralph Waldo Emerson, he had a quote that said, "Nothing was ever achieved in life without emotion and enthusiasm." And so if you want to do this properly, you have to put enthusiasm and emotion into this, because it takes effort and willpower to achieve it. And if you don't have that emotion or enthusiasm, you're gonna give up. Second thing is consistency. You have to do this frequently and consistently. And basically what I mean by consistency is that a week from now, a year from now, you're still doing it. And this is the one people mess up on. They read this stuff, they read Napoleon Hill's books or whatever else, and they drop the ball 1 week in, 1 day in. What's most important, whether it's going to the gym or doing this subconscious programming, is that you maintain doing it for, years on end. And it's not that hard, honestly. Like, it can really take about 5 to 10 minutes a day, maybe a little bit more than that. And so it's really down to you. The third thing is frequency. So you want to do this at least twice a day, when you wake up and when you go to sleep. And it will just help cement what you want to do. And then the 4th thing is really visualizing it as realistically as possible, as if it's already there in front of you. Your subconscious mind is an actual part of your mind that's constantly working, and to program it in, it can't really tell the difference between what you imagine and what's real to a certain extent. And so by programming it in as a reality, seeing that as a reality, it really helps you cement it into your mind. And if you study some of the top athletes, some of the top people in the world, all of them visualize their success before they achieve it. They picture themselves scoring that goal, throwing that ball into the hoop, getting those financial stats before they actually happen. Of course, I highly recommend you only use these principles for good and for ethical stuff. And so that's a talk for another day, but I personally believe they work better for ethical stuff as well. And of course, if you don't control your subconscious, the environment controls it for you. So you may be letting leak into your subconscious a lot of negative, horrific thoughts, whether it's negative people, unsuccessful people and their complaints, or lazy mentalities from the people you hang around seep into your subconscious. So if you don't control it, the environment and who you surround yourself will control it for you. So now let's get down to the specifics. If you want even more detail, you can read Napoleon Hill's book. And there's all sorts of other stuff mentioned in this that are very specific that you should do as well. So here's the basic idea behind it. You write down in the present tense with a pen and paper or paper and pencil what you want to achieve, and specifically the exact dollar amount, what value or goods or services that you will exchange for that, a deadline for that, and you want to then envision it as in present tense, as if you've already made that money. And by doing this, at least once or twice a day for a extended period of time, 90+ days, you slowly start to change your wiring. Stop goofing off. It'll realign you so you're focused on your goals rather than goofing off and getting off track. And it'll keep reminding you and programming you to think and act like a successful person and achieve those goals. So that's an incredible way of programming your subconscious mind for the better. And of course, you can use this for other goals as well. Let's say one day you want to live on a tropical island. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they will post a lot of pictures of tropical islands everywhere as a screensaver on their phone, as a vision board on their wall, little paper cutouts, picture cutouts from magazines, everywhere on their computer, and it'll just keep programming into their mind. And if they do it right and visualize that they already have it and start working towards it, that's a key too. You can't just sit there on your butt. It comes about. People have used the same thing to achieve fitness goals, to achieve certain levels of success in terms of the house they want to buy, and achieving certain cars they want to buy. Many people, what they'll do is they will picture the car they want to drive, and then every weekend they will go to the dealership and just test drive that car and envision as if they already have it. Now, my concluding recommendation is don't use this only for materialistic things, because again, as science and studies have shown, those things have a very marginal impact on your happiness once your basic needs are met. A roof over your house, health insurance, be able to pay your bills, food. And as you can see from science, the statistics show the higher you gain in money, you get less and less bang for your buck in terms of your happiness. So really figure out what's a better, higher impact, higher purpose goal that you can look to achieve after you have maybe got your fun toy or whatever. Like, that's great and stuff, but you'll probably be moving here anyways, and so maybe your next goal is, I want to feed 100 hungry children this year. Or your goal could be, if I just keep feeding these children, it's just a perpetual cycle. Maybe my goal should be, how can I develop an infrastructure for this economy so that there are no hungry children on the streets in the first place? So those are goals that you can almost have set numeric amounts towards. Maybe 10% less homeless people on the streets. So thanks for watching, and hopefully this video helped.